going on, everybody? I'm Sean Daniel.
I'm Justin Mitchell.
Very big news today.
Yes.
The International Art Critics Association has released their yearly top 3 awards for the greatest pieces of art in the known world.
Right, that's right.
Number 1, as always.
Sistine Chapel. It's never been dethroned.
And never, and it probably never will be.
Really.
Number 2 is the Cristiano Ronaldo statue. Specifically, the bulge portion of it was singled out as being the number 2 art one. And number 3, Justin Mitchell's pedal board right here.
This is it.
This is amazing, Justin. I just need to commend you on a life well lived for having a pedal board such as this.
It's like 6 years in the making.
Yeah, it's awesome. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna start doing kind of like an effects series to kind of educate a little bit about some of the cool effects, what different effects do, how they work. Maybe the differences between cheap stuff, expensive stuff, different features and stuff. Because there's a lot of confusion.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that I don't know.
We're going to also cover things that you don't know.
Exactly.
Milliamps, right? Power supplies.
Oh my God.
Buffers. We're going to go over signal chains. Everything you need to know. True bypass.
You name
analog
it.
versus
We got you covered.
Oh, yeah.
We're in this for the long haul,
That's right.
my friends. And we're 2 good people to be doing this.
That's right.
Because there are 2 types of pedal consumers out there.
That's right.
There's the guy who buys a pedal sight unseen because someone told him it was cool, hits the button and expects it to work flawlessly.
Right.
This guy right here.
That's right.
And then there's the guy who actually knows what he's talking about and knows how to tech pedals, like the in and out. The minutia that goes into like reading the manual, stuff like that.
Insofar as I have a binder that I've laminated with all of my pedals, the important parts of the manual.
This is no joke.
I'm the guy you want to ask questions about your pedal board.
I'm not even going to show you my pedal board right now because it's like I'm so inadequate just like sitting here next to this.
That's right.
So this is going to be a real quick just kind of intro video, just kind of running down how Justin has it set up. Now all these pedals are going to be demoed a little bit more carefully in the future. Right. But I just wanted to kind of start it off. And Justin, let's turn you loose, man. What do we got here?
Excellent. So first I have a tuner, which is important. The best thing about a tuner pedal is that when you turn it on, it cuts off all your sound, right? So you can tune when you're playing without like.
Now some tuners have an option to do that.
Right.
Sometimes you can do it live.
Yeah.
But
I prefer the ones that cut it off. This is an Instant Lo-Fi Junkie by Zvex. It's really cool. It's got a compressor built in. And it kind of makes you're able to make your guitar sound like an old warbly VHS tape. Is like one of the best things. This is the Distortron, also made by Zvex. It's basically its goal is to make it sound like an old Marshall cabinet, like 80s metal through and through. This is a Mastertron, which is a gated fuzz, so it doesn't sound. Sean uses a lot of fuzz in his songs. If you listen to him, it sounds a lot more synthy than his like wide open. Kind of fuzz. So they're just 2 different things. This is the Palisades, which, man, I can't wait to do a video.
This is probably like the coolest drive.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's probably heard of a tube screamer, and that's basically, what this is at its core is a, really creative and expanded tube screamer. These 4 pedals are made by Bliss. That's by Earthquaker Devices. And so this is... It's called a chorus vibrato pedal, but that is like a misnomer. Is that the phrase?
It's not a chorus pedal.
Yeah.
It's a vintager,
right?
I suppose.
It's called a warp vinyl because it does very similar things to the Lo-Fi Junkie, although I justify keeping them both on the board because they do very different things. This is the Womb Tone. It's a phaser. This is the Gravitas, which is a tremolo. A phaser pedal, we all know what those sound like, right?
Yeah, I did the Small Stone video back in the day. You can check out. That's the standard one.
Exactly. Right? Which is actually, I used to have a Small Stone, and I upgraded to this. And then the Gravitas is a tremolo pedal. If you don't know what tremolo is, to make it super simple, is just turning a volume knob up and down. That's it. It just cuts your sound in and out.
I think of like an AC30.
Exactly.
They have a built-in tremolo on there.
Right. Right.
Pretty famous.
And then the tonal recall is an analog delay. And we'll discuss what analog
Exactly. All the stuff we're going to detail
sure.
further. This is kind of a breakdown of how he's got it chained up. Stuff like that.
And the reason all these pedals made by Bliss are special is you'll see they have this little area right here with these dip switches. And, like the Small Stone phaser, you turn it on and you tell it how much phase and how fast. And that's pretty much it. It's just got a switch. This, you have like immense control over your waveforms, which I'm a knob twiddler. I love messing around with them. So this is a Electro-Harmonix Deluxe Memory Boy, which is another analog delay. Justin, why would you have 2 delays? That's ridiculous.
How many do you need? stacking
them,
delay stacking.
And also you'll notice this is a Moog expression pedal, and it allows me to control parameters with these knobs. Is it Moog? I always say Moog. Yeah. You know what? It is Moog. You're totally right, because it's Moog or Foger. I am so sorry.
It's okay. That's what the good people. I love the people at Moog. Best customer service in the business, in my own personal opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are excellent.
Very cool.
So basically, the expression pedal allows me to just turn a knob with my foot. It's that simple. This is my favorite in the whole world.
This is the.
It really is. This is Empress is a Canadian pedal company, and first off, just shout out to, if you see how small the footprint is compared to even this, they decided to make it tall instead. Yeah. I mean, come on, that's beautiful.
It's like a tower,
and everything is top mounted. You could stuff this directly next to pedals. That is. This is how they should be. Everything top mounted, tall, beautiful. This is my reverb pedal. I have reverb on my amp, but sometimes that only does so much.
Sure.
And this does a whole lot, man. Everybody knows I like Boards of Canada. I like Tycho. I like Flying Lotus, that kind of stuff. So I really like having a lot of reverb options. This is my little baby looper. I wish I had the infinity looper that Sean has, but as you can see, the real estate is pretty slim. This is real simple for me. I can do live. I can play a lead line and then play a harmony with a band and then cut it right back out. I think it's really an awesome thing. And the loop, I think, is 4 minutes or something. It's for how small
awesome
it is.
Pedal for like such a great deal too.
Yeah, and I think I paid like $80 or something for it on sale.
Again, I got another video on why you need a looper. Everybody needs it. That should be your first pedal, honestly. Is a looper pedal.
I think tuner honestly really could come last. You don't it's not a necessity.
Just get an app on your phone, get a snark, whatever.
Yeah. If you like to play lead, find out it's very important whether you get a fuzz, a gated fuzz, distortion, and overdrive, all of these different things to get the proper sound. So find out like who does the lead that you like, and then get a looper so that you can do chords, and then again overdrive so you can just feel like Jimmy Page or Stevie Ray Vaughan or whoever John Mayer, whoever you love.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. And then what was the juice?
The power supply?
Yeah.
The power supply hidden back here is actually mounted to the bottom of my pedal board, and it is a Voodoo Labs is the company, and it is the Pedal Power 2 Plus.
Got it.
Yeah.
So most of these are kind of like 9-volt-ish, right? Some of these have proprietary supplies, I would imagine.
They're all 9-volt. Some of them will allow you to use 18 volts. So the pedal power, basically a pedal has something called a current draw. It's how many milliamps it pulls from the power supply. So the pedal power has, I think, 8, and 6 of them are 100, and 2 of them are 250, right? So this one requires 250 pull. The other reverb pedal that I have, the guy in Belgium, Home Noise, is making, the Black Lodge for me. I can't wait to do a video on that. That requires 250 as well.
And we'll get more in depth in that stuff, because that can be confusing.
Exactly, yeah. And
so that'd be a different video, separate video.
Exactly.
But basically, what you might be thinking is a lot of these pedals may not be familiar to you. They're not kind of like the old standbys,
Right.
Boss DS1,
right.
MXR Carbon Copy, Ibanez Tube Screamer, whatever. Not to say that those are not great pedals.
I have to be super clear right now. I am a contrarian.
Yeah.
Boss pedals are awesome. There's a reason everyone uses them. Like whenever, this reverb pedal is amazing. The Boss RV6 is amazing. It's great.
If it works for you, it's fine.
Yeah, I love the Boss pedals.
I only have one that I'll put in the pedal hall of shame because I used to work at Guitar Center.
Yeah.
The Line 6 DL4.
You hate that pedal?
Great pedal, breaks all the time.
Oh yeah,
right? It sounds awesome. We would get so many DL4s back that were just broken, and people were just pissed. That I'm like, you know what? This pedal is the one that I will stamp no.
Yeah. And then a lot of people like to make fun of the Metal Zone, right? Because it's usually people's first distortion pedal, and they don't really understand the nuances, which you'll learn of dialing a pedal in. They dime it all out, and they're like, "This sounds awful."
Yeah. So to each their own,
right?
For sure. But I think a lot of the cool stuff about this pedal, especially, I don't know as much about all these, but I know with Zvex and especially with Earthquaker, these are kind of more boutique guys.
Oh yeah.
And they stand by their work. So even though these are more like expensive pedals, like I've had pedals go bad after a couple years, and it's like you just buy a new one or whatever. Like the warranty stuff isn't like a good switch. With like Zvex and with Earthquaker, for your life, if any time in your life something happens, they just fix it.
Well, I mean, and I know this is an introductory video, but I have to tell you, first of all, Chase Bliss, all these guys have great customer service. Chase Bliss has answered every email the same day. Joel, the owner.
Yeah.
And so I told him, look, I've got these pedals. and I want to set them up with MIDI, which is a whole nother video. Basically, it's just going to connect them all so that I can save presets without having to turn the knobs. And he answered all these like highly technical questions the same day and said, thanks for being a customer.
And that is
amazing.
And I think that's part of what you're paying for a boutique company.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Right? Like, you know, something like, I'm not going to pay $200 for an effects pedal.
Right.
Well, I mean, you know, you're supporting a small business. There's just a lot of different ways to look at it.
And a lot of them, I mean, if it matters to you, a lot of them are made in the United States. Like, I think, I'm pretty sure they're in Ohio. I know these guys are in Canada. You know, I think Zvex is in like,
he's in
somewhere
like a cabin.
Cold.
No one knows where Zvex is right now.
A basement in Minnesota, basically.
With a bunch of candles powering most of his pedals.
That's right.
But so essentially, that's pretty much Justin Mitchell's pedal board.
I love this thing.
It's been a long time coming. And again, there's room right here.
And also, can I just say, I'm sorry, I have to just say, my friend Gabe Noto, he built me this pedal board and stained it. And he also built me an amp stand to get my amp off the floor and aimed up. He's the man.
Okay, connectors, right? So.
Oh yeah.
You bought these are Megami. You bought a pack, right? Like a kit or something like that?
Yeah, so most of these are Megami, and some of them are Planet Waves. This one is actually very long, see, because it goes all the way through and all the way down to this pedal. You know, they kind of zigzag. I have to be honest. I think that pedals or patch cables matter to a point. Right? If it's a 6-inch patch cable, I genuinely don't think there's any point in spending $30 on it. You know what I mean?
But you don't want to spend $2 on it.
Exactly.
Because those are the ones that just I can't tell you how many $2 patch cables I have that are just dead.
Right. And it's honestly I've seen really compelling studies. It's not even necessarily about transferring impedance or like passing on the current. It's more about just durability. You know, and you don't want to. I had, you know, when I was playing with that one psych rock band, I had nights where I had to figure out which of my patch cables was causing the noise.
Oh, that's the worst.
And you're like,
it's like, great, I've got 15 to 20 points.
Yeah, and at the time I didn't have such a big pedal board, so everything was real close together. So you're like wiggling and taking things off and putting them back on. I'll never go through that again. Yeah. So
cool. So this is a really cool setup here. So anyways, we're excited to start demoing some of these pedals. Any questions you guys have? We would love to kind of like make this more of like a community thing. We're all here to learn together. Yeah. Right? And again, my soul as a player is to plug into an amp and to do stuff.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I kind of go through phases of pedals. I try not to get too into it because I just go down that rabbit hole.
That's right.
You know? But Justin is a responsible man, he will guide us all to the. He'll make sure that we're not lost down there.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear your questions, because the thing you have to keep in mind is I've been a pedal nerd for almost a decade, and I've forgotten what it's like to be new to them. So I may completely gloss over things that people.
Yeah, so it's good that you have a total pedal noob like myself to be like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is just kind of an intro video. We're gonna start shooting some of these out, and we look forward to your comments. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.